Well, hello. Welcome to my humble abode. I am on the ship! We are finally getting out of this trash heap. I know. Should have done it ages ago. But, you know what? I have been enjoying just thoroughly running around this planet, just not really sure what I was doing, but just kind of hanging out. So, let me just click Z
going.
and bring that on with me, and I'm going to click Alt
Sure
Z.
thing.
And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off my camera. You guys don't need to look at my dumb ass. I know, maybe you want to see me. Maybe you think I'm beautiful. But I don't think that's the case. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off my camera. We're going to get right back into the game. And we're going to fly all asses right on out of here. So ready, set, and camera off. Alright, Ada, let's get off this trash heap.
Captain. All systems are now operating within acceptable parameters. Shall I take our ship into orbit?
Yeah! Against all odds, the unreliable takes flight.
We have received a communication request from Dr. Phineas Wells.
This guy again.
Ah, there you are. Hale and hearty, and captain of your own ship. I see you're putting the unreliable to good use. Shame about her former captain. Horrible way to die. How are you feeling, by the way? I lost track of you in that cave back there. Experiencing any, unnatural drippage? Perfectly normal side effect of thawing, I assure you. Oh, yes, that's probably permanent. I wouldn't worry about it, though. I'm sure you're fine. What you saw in Emerald Vale is happening all across the colony. Food shortages, lack of supplies, and basic necessities. We're dying. The chairman, the minister, and all their lackeys on the board are to blame. The Hope has some of the brightest minds Earth ever sent us. If we can revive the Hope's colonists, they can help us undo the board's mistakes. They can help us set things right. You need to get to Stellar Bay on Monarch. I have contacts there. They'll help us, find the chemicals to revive your fellow colonists.
Okay.
Gladys Culkelly, lovely woman, runs a cozy little black marketing outfit on the Groundbreaker. She can get you a nav key to land on Stellar Bay. In theory, I suppose you could land your ship in Cascadia, and in theory, I suppose you might survive the experience. Cascadia is utterly seething with dangerous, highly aggressive creatures, more than capable of tearing you limb from limb. You'd have to be a lunatic to land in Cascadia, and I'm reasonably certain I tested your brain for incipient signs of insanity. Trust me, talk to Gladys Culkelly. Without a skip drive, good luck. You'll be dead before you make it to the nearest star. Look, I admire your optimism, but the sad truth is you're stuck here. You, me, and the rest of this colony. We're all skating precariously around the edge of oblivion together. None of us are leaving Halcyon alive, so we may as well make it a better place.
So Halcyon is
and we
the
can
system,
start
okay.
by reviving the Hope.
Okay.
Captains don't fly their own ships, you see. Your navigation terminal handles the, navigation. Think of a nav key as a set of flight instructions. The board's been confiscating nav keys for Stellar Bay, so we must rely on unconventional means of acquisition. Hence, Miss Gladys Culkelly.
Okay, so why is...
Excellent. I'll send her a wireless. Let her know you're coming. By the way, I gave Captain Hawthorne a disguise apparatus of my own design, cutting-edge technology, years ahead of its time. I call it the Holographic Shroud. I'm sure it will prove remarkably useful to you. You'll find it in the captain's quarters. Marvelous device. I'm quite proud of myself. The shroud changes the user's appearance to mimic that of another.
Ooh.
It has limits. First-generation technology, you see, but promising. Exciting to see it in use at last. Very simply, the holographic shroud uses biometric information contained on standard identity cartridges to generate a holographic projection around you. Only stands up to a casual scrutiny. Use it too long, bound to flicker, blur, something like that. Movement makes it more likely. Best used in moderation. When you see guards in your path you can't sneak past, for example. Maintain your distance. Act normal. No running, no jumping. Don't draw their attention. If they pay attention, they're more likely to notice flaws in the hologram.
I'm glad I spec'd him to sneak.
A change of clothes. What is this? Some old spy serial? What inattentive and brainless guard would be fooled by such a shabby disguise? The holographic shroud masks not only your clothes, but your face and fingerprints. It modulates your voice and sweetens your breath. Science, that's how.
That makes no sense.
Excellent. I'll contact you once you've found a way to get to Stellar Bay. If you have any questions, come see me in my lab. And remember, don't trust the board. They'll try to win you over with promises of wealth and power, but it's a lie. The board's only interested in filling their own pockets. If we don't put a stop to them, they're going to run this colony to the ground.
Transmission ended. If you are ready to depart, please select a destination on your navigation terminal.
Okay, so that's the navigation terminal. I'm gonna go check out my captain's quarters because I haven't really checked out my ship that much. I taught them an important lesson: never dream. Ouch. Well, I kind of regret that, but...
Make yourself at home, Captain.
Oh, so I can just store stuff in here. Alright, cool. Probably gonna store this in here. I don't really think I'm gonna use that. Alright, you know what? I'm gonna store the axe and the shovel too because it might have utility elsewhere. Alright, well, I guess I'll be on my way here then. I'm gonna store this because this isn't even my clothes, but I'm gonna store the hibernation suit too. Alrighty. Note to self, remember this later. No better. Ada, remind me. Okay. cool. So new quest. Okay, so Codex, what did I learn? So how exactly did I use the holographic shroud? What? Oh, I just reloaded, okay. Century Saber. Oh, it's just a standard one-handed, okay. I'm using the security blade, but I could use the shock stick. Yeah. I'll use that. Okay, cool. Oh shit, my bad. Transfer something to here. I'm actually going to give them my light machine gun and my shock cannon. I'm just going to hold on to those. I think the rest of it for now I can kind of sell. But for now that's there. Okay, cool. Coolio. Alright. Let's check out what's around on the ship here. I know. I'm kind of boring with that. Whoa! Hello, Sam. I'm not gonna take your stuff. Cute. He uses heavy ammo, okay.
Oh, hello, Captain.
So we've got room for another person or a few other people in my crew. This is our mess hall. I'll leave that food in the fridge. I'm not gonna mess with that too much. Okay. Can't take a dump, but I can do nothing in here. No point in being in here at all. Huh. So I think it might be time to get rid of this pistol and use something else. It's just that it's pristine. Not... Let me use it. All right. Plasma damage, shock damage, magnum. Increases the amount of ammo. Okay, well. I think I'm gonna hold off on it for now. Since I don't have that many mods. Install a mod. Okay, yeah, just change his damage type and all that. That's all I got for it. Okay. Alright, well, I guess I don't have much left. Suppose I can check out armor mods. Increases rating against that. I'm gonna pass on it, I think. Melee and defense skill. I'm gonna hold off on it. Alright, well, you know what? I think it might just be time to go on out there.
Yeah, so this is my hidey spot now. I was looking for a place that was quiet. I figured the kitchen would be louder than the hold, so here I am. Cozy like, ain't it? That's in pretty good shape considering how hard Mr. Hawthorne ran it. It's a Yakita LHA 120, A2 model, I'm pretty sure. The Block 2 design scooshed in extra cargo space, but didn't change the stock engines. Probably a touch underpowered, huh?
Accurate in all particulars. I conclude you are Edgewater's board-certified mechanic.
It does a good imitation.
So you're gonna call her it, not she?
Though my voice is currently pitched to suggest female, I possess no gender. Any pronoun preferred by the user is acceptable.
Hello, I am not a board-certified mechanic, but my dad was. He taught me all he knew. Do you understand?
Speech recognition is one of the many skills I have been programmed to simulate.
You're not simulating it, you're doing it! I asked a question and you answered it.
I am gratified you consider this facsimile convincing.
Facsimile?
I am at your disposal, Ms. Parvati. You will find the technical schematics in the engineer's locker, though I'm afraid Captain Hawthorne has lost the owner's manual.
I don't see any holes in the hull. I'll take a good squint at her, make sure everything's tip-top. But I think we're cooking with plasma torches. You can do that, you know. My dad taught me how to make grilled cheese sandwiches with a plasma torch.
That's pretty cool.
Mostly, yeah. I lived in the maintenance office near all of my life. Mr. Thompson never let me forget how funny that was. I'm not exactly a model employee. Not like you wanted. The kind that stays quiet and gets the right work done in the right order every day. It's not normal for anyone to do as their parents. You take a vocational test. That decides your schooling and your career. When I tested out for maintenance, everyone figured it was on account of my dad. They were real unhappy with us. Well, I'm good at making things work the way they ought. Not so much at doing such to somebody else's schedule. There's times I'm working deep in the guts of a loader, getting it all running perfect. Then I look up to see it's tomorrow, and I've blown another deadline. Anyhow, I was happy to get back home. I didn't care much for schooling. Yep, nothing much had changed. Everything was a little grayer, a little dirtier. Dad met me at the shuttle and gave me a big ol' hug. I noticed straight away that he was moving slower and stiffer. He made a little grunt when I squeezed. About a year. I tried to do more of the work so he could rest. His heart gave him pains. Dad never said that he loved me, you know? I knew on account of him showing it. How he'd stay up late to help with my projects or listen to my fretting. Oh gosh, look at the time. Sorry to bend your ears so long. And I got so much to do before this ship's in decent shape.
Welcome back, Captain. How can I be of assistance? The unit is a cleaning SAM. Hawthorne brought it on board some cycles ago, I'm sure with the intent to modify it, but I've never seen it up and running. Alex likely recorded progress notes detailing his efforts to modify SAM. If you check the terminal in your captain's quarters, we may be able to determine what work remains in order for SAM to properly operate. What part of the colony would you like to discuss? Ah, yes. As Dr. Wells is a wanted outlaw, he built his laboratory into an asteroid. Orbital destinations can be challenging to land on. His more so than most. There is a bounty on his head, one with a markedly high reward amount. Shall I engage the laser weapons system? A sensible choice, as we do not have any laser weapons.
Shit.
The outlaw scientist known as Dr. Phineas V. Wells has taken a measure of precautions to make the lab undetectable to those hunting him. Even knowing the location, my systems resist my orders to go where I instruct them. Of course. What part of the colony would you like to discuss? We're cleared to dock with the Groundbreaker if that's your desired destination. If we're going there, please be sure all docking forms have been filed in triplicate and fees have been paid. The Mardettes take their docking laws quite seriously. The Groundbreaker was Halcyon's original colony ship. It has since been repurposed as a service station in the Lagrange point of the system. Freighters often deliver or pick up goods from the Groundbreaker en route to other destinations. The city ship hosts an array of cargo bays, factories, housing sections, and more. Many of Halcyon's companies maintain office spaces with stationed representatives in what is considered a truly neutral territory within the system. If we're going there, please be sure all docking forms have been filed in triplicate and fees have been paid. The Mardettes take their docking laws quite seriously. I can, yes. Let me add that to my list of 1,435,498 tasks I am simultaneously executing in order to run our ship. You are more than welcome, Captain. How can I be of assistance? I have lots of minutes. Many minutes. Unlimited minutes, perhaps. Providing an adequate power source, I can function indefinitely. I require a captain to pilot the ship. Without an identified captain or crew, I serve no purpose. As you may be aware, Captain Alex Hawthorne was a smuggler of some repute. I failed to predict the likely outcome of his reckless behavioral patterns. I should have predicted that. In our travels together, Alex liked to pass time by, as he called it, tinkering to improve my design.
Hmm.
If you mean, was Captain Hawthorne my first? Yes, he was. How can I be of assistance? Certainly, Captain. What would you like to hear? My violence inhibitors are a joke. No, really. I only keep them enabled because of how funny they are. Now playing a Spacer's Choice advertisement jingle.
It's not the best choice.
Ew.
It's Spacer's Choice.
Everyone in Halcyon is contractually obligated to label this or another board-certified jingle their favorite song. As you wish, Captain. I must comply with all direct orders. See you soon, Captain.
Okay, so the SAM unit might be able to be repaired by the captain's quarters.
Remember that you are not insured.
Alright, so I found that conversation is kind of an important aspect of this. Sorry, I'm trying to decide what I want to be doing. I know. I've been super quiet lately. I've been trying to figure it out. Stealth seems to be important. So does mechanical. I want to be able to pickpocket. I suppose we should worry more about that later. Dialogue's important. Yeah, I think dialogue kind of takes precedence here. Yeah. Rock it that way.
There is an increased amount of methane in the ship's air scrubbers.
Where was that bot?
Arrived at Phineas's orbital lab.
Okay, so I can take both of them with me. Interesting.
hear me? Does this work? Oh, damn it! Blast, that's loud.
Yeah.
I'm just securing my ongoing experiments. And securing myself. Mind the mess. I haven't had a visitor since, in fact, I've never had a visitor.
Reviving you from hibernation was my greatest accomplishment. Your odds of survival were a mere 28%. Oh, thank the law. Your skin hasn't spontaneously changed color. Potential side effect of the revival process. Very rare, but you never know. Right. Welcome to my little habitation, such as it is. I've got caffeinoids, cysty bits, if you're into that sort of thing. So, welcome. Make yourself at home. My secret hideout is your secret hideout. Not at all, my intrepid accomplice. I should thank you for tolerating my somewhat brusque manner. I only regret that I couldn't save more of your fellow settlers, what with being hunted by the board, and emptying my supply of necessary chemicals. Of course. What's on your mind? Oh, it's not you. I do experiments in that room. Some of them get quite scientific. The unexpected is to be treasured, but from a safe distance. Regardless, it's quite comfortable in here, you know. I have my beans, have my caffeinoids, plenty of toilet paper. Absolutely. Let's talk. No, and I've been trying very hard to avoid making eye contact.
Nice to meet you, Dr. Wells. I'm Parvati Holcomb.
Wait, not another word. I don't want to know your name. I don't want to know who you are. Let's just enjoy our plausible deniability while it lasts, shall we? Why don't you just invite the entire colony to my secret, carefully concealed laboratory? It isn't as if I wanted privacy. Oh, fine. As long as you're vouching for their character and they aren't touching things. For what it's worth, I am pleased that you found a crew, such as they are. You're a talented scientist, after all. Our kind has always been incredibly popular. That's odd. I'm at least 65% certain my tone was sufficiently sincere. Perhaps the glass is distorting my voice. Must look into that. What's on your mind? Absolutely. Let's talk. Oh, goodness, no. I wouldn't survive 10 seconds in the blackness of the aether. Well, no, I imagine I'd last at least 12 seconds before I'd lose consciousness and die of hypoxia. I enjoyed the occasional aether wave drama in my your question, I'd rather stay right here in my lab. There's too much work to be done. The Hope's colonists won't revive themselves, you know. Yes, that troublesome bounty on my head. I've been a fugitive ever since the board caught wind of my research. My work is my life. The board can put a price on my head, but they can't scare me into stopping my research. Remarkably well. After all, I managed to revive you without too many adverse side effects. We're even having a real conversation. That's progress. I still need your help, however. The sooner we discover the location of those chemicals, the sooner we can begin reviving the Hope's colonists. Get me those chemicals, and I'll revive the Hope. Revive the Hope, put a stop to the board. Stop the board, save the colony from destruction. Cause and effect. Simple, really. My progress is tied to your progress. We're in this together, my friend.
Cool.
I'm well aware of your scientific acumen, but you're far better suited to working in the field than I am. Leave the blackboard work to me. 10 years. That's how long the average human can remain in hibernation. You were frozen for decades. In theory, you never should have survived the revival process. But the conventional theories are wrong. You're living proof that it can be done. There's yet hope for the Hope. Get it? We'll do our very best to save them all. I'd best get back to work. I can feel my last dose of caffeinoid fading. Aha! I see you found my portable molecular compression device. Better... known as a shrink ray. Find a target, point, shoot. Your target will shrink down into a manageable size, whereupon you may commence beating them to a pulp. Feel free to try it on a marauder sometime.
Cool. A shrink ray. I like that. Use energy. It is an energy weapon, though. I use energy weapons a decent amount.
Careful, that's my communications terminal.
Okay, so maybe I can go into Companions Vicar. What do you got, Vicar? You're a close range fighter, aren't you? Can't say I would have guessed that. Okay. Alright, let's get back on the reliable and continue. I'm sorry, I do not mean to be tired, but like, it has already been a long day. I've spent probably about the past hour not really doing much, I know. So I actually need to go to the Groundbreaker completely. I've got 3 quests that take me there, so let's go for it.
Destination reached. The Groundbreaker.
Can we talk? Hey, Captain. I heard that Groundbreaker's got a real good engineer. A lady named Junlei Tennyson? I was thinking that maybe I ought to meet her. If you got time to swing us by, I mean. I don't got much experience fixing actual spaceships. I bet you a can of Borston beans she could teach me all manner of stuff.
Sure.
Thanks, Captain. I'll be sure to make it worth your time. Did you want to talk about something else?
I'll bring both of them with me for now.
Checking your ship's manifest. Standard procedure. Welcome to Groundbreaker by the...
Smells like grease and unwashed bodies. Just as I remembered.
You're a charmer, aren't you, Vicar?
That's not the point. This halfwit just knocked out one of my workers.
Yeah, with a tossball stick. I heard you the first time. There weren't any witnesses.
No witnesses. He's not even denying it.
Jackass had it coming. Hey, no offense, but I don't think this walking Saltunican's gonna appreciate you interrupting.
Keep talking, Millstone. See what happens. Now's not a good time. I'm dealing with a problem here.
So, go space yourself. Problem solved.
You must really want a truncheon through your teeth.
Going for a stroll around the docking base? Sure was. Got a knack for upsetting the board and the Mardettes all at once. Between you and me, I was hoping they'd come to fisticuffs. I had this foreman, right? Guy never liked me, always trying to get a rise out of me. But I keep my chin up, right? Be the bigger man, I tell myself. He's a Spacer's chosen man, though. So when the Chosen beat my Rangers the other night, my foreman comes swaggering up with his head full of boasting. Exactly. I was only doing what any self-respecting Rangers fan would have done. Look, this was a long time coming. Guy thinks he can push me around because he's some sky-high foreman, and I'm just a back bay's dock worker. Well, former dock worker. Guess I just tendered my resignation. Enjoy my freedom. Scrounged together enough bits for a 0G. Other than that, can't say as I do. Hey, not for nothing, but I saw you wander out of that ship over there by the dock. Wouldn't happen to be yours, would it? Oh, just musing is all. Must be nice having the run of the colony. Never being anchored to one place, always chasing some horizon. Hey, I don't want to talk your ears off, guessing you got places to be. I appreciate your time. Felix Millstone. Pleased to make your acquaintance. See you around, boss.
Just arrived? Head over to customs. Wheeler needs to process you.
Customs and inspection, right this way.
Identification, please. Captain Hawthorne, you said. Let me apologize in advance. I'm about to ruin your day. According to your ship's record, you've been flagged by the board. Your ship will be impounded until such a time as they see fit to lift it.
But we've hardly been out of Edgewater long enough to get in trouble.
Well, isn't this wonderful? The captain's done something to get on the board's bad side.
Now, hold on. This isn't the end of the world. Probably. You'll want to take it up with Udom Bedford, our board representative here on Groundbreaker. His office is located along the starboard wall of the promenade. Shines like a Byzantium commode. You can't miss it. Access to that information is above my pay grade, and I've turned down 3 promotions, so it stays that way. I shouldn't be mentioning it, but what the hell? This here, impounding your ship, it doesn't happen much. The board knows we don't take kindly to their interfering in our operations. If I had to take a guess as to why, you must have riled up someone important. You take the starch out of them, well, you won't hear any complaints from me. Oh, and if you're headed that way, would you mind doing me a favor? Wanda Dorset over in sickbay, tell her the shipment's not in yet. It's not coming in anytime soon, and if she'd be so obliged to get off my ass about it. A handful of SAM cleaning units retrofitted for surgery. I don't know much else. I stopped listening when she started yelling. Much appreciated. Is there anything else I can help you with? He's friendly enough unless you speak ill of the board. Get the sense he doesn't care for Groundbreaker much. Not that he would, being a board man and all. He's our liaison. They can't abide an independent township, especially not one they gotta depend on. We're the first and last stop out of this colony. All their interstellar freighters come through us, and we skim a few bits off the top in manifest processing fees with every one. Folks around here will bluster that the board hates our freedom, but really, they know we can stop their out-system shipments anytime we like, and that terrifies them. Sounds like, yeah. But from where I sit, it's all coming through loud and clear. They got assault cruisers, gunships, and a handful of mining operations at their fingertips. We push them too hard, maybe they decide we'd be better in 10 trillion little pieces. Or they cobble together a new Groundbreaker and put us out of business.
The board wouldn't do that. Would they?
The board is necessary to provide order to the colony. They believe it's their prerogative to overrun you. But whether you allow that is up to you.
It's a tough line to walk, no doubt about that. But we may do all right. So far, anyway. Yep. Groundbreaker's the only real independent port. Aside from us, there's just tramp freighters and wildcat miners. Seems like every year the board's offices get bigger and their ships take up more of the landing bays. Haven't seen nearly as many tramp crews this year. Sure thing. Maybe. Most of the shipping traffic in the system passes through Groundbreaker. Every couple of months, we even get a big interstellar freighter. 2 biggest operations are the board. That is, Halcyon Holdings and Sublight Salvage. But there are independent operators around the promenade deck. Most of those jobs are going to take you off station, though. Relative to the board holdings? Not really. But there's a few with the means to go where they will. They aren't rich, but they aren't likely to look too close at your work history either. Are you pulling my leg? You must be one of them long-haul freighters from outside the colony. Well, I won't hold it against you. Goes like this. Back on Earth, before the crossing, the powers that be were selling off stakes in distant star systems they thought had potential. A bunch of companies decided to throw in together and form the Halcyon Holdings Corporation, then buy up the rights to this here colony. That group's what we now call the Board. Sitting around drinking whiskey and smoking cigars, yeah, probably. Can't say for sure, of course. Doubt I'll ever see the inside of it myself. Groundbreaker was one of the original colony vessels to come over on the crossing, a few years before her sister ship, the Hope. Once everybody'd been de-thawed and dropped dirtside, the original crew of the Groundbreaker decided they rather liked the spacefaring life. I guess that was the start of our independent spirit. Now, here we are. Glad to help. They strip the parts from derelict ships and abandoned outposts. There's some that say they make the derelicts and encourage folks to abandon their steads. Sublight gives me the creeps. I've known folks who went to work for them and just vanished. They're on the promenade run by a woman named Lilia Hagen. I'm only telling you so you know to avoid them. Commandant Sanita might have a couple of folks she needs killed. Bad folks, I mean. Not regular folks. She'll be at the security desk behind me. Chief Junlei might have an errand needs running. She's all tied up trying to fix our heat problem. You'll find her in engineering.
No kidding? I'd love to get a look at this old girl's innards. I bet they're real twisty and weird. In a good way.
Happy to help. That's my job, after all.
You're real good at it, too.
Well, thank you, miss. It's nice to be recognized. Yep.
Can we move this along? I have a certain, matter I'd like to attend to, Captain.
All right. Be seeing you.
Whoa.
Mechanicals all over, but they still got us sweating through the box.
Carry on.
Okay, so...
This is it. Security. I can check the departures registry to find out which crew the Scholar shipped in and out with.
I picked up this weird signal the other day. It was coming from Monarch.
Here we go again. No one lives on Monarch. It's a wasteland. You were hearing things.
No, seriously. There was a lot of static at first, but then this voice.
Okay, you know what? I'm actually kind of anxious about doing this, like, right as soon as I get here, so let's go to drinking sapphire wine instead.
Graham, right. Broadcasting on a dead world full of monsters. Now...
Try not to be distracted by the glare of the adverts. Lots of unsavory types about.
Sorry about the heat. Chief Tennyson will get the radiators fixed soon. Of course, this heat sure makes a zero-G brew extra refreshing. It's an ale that's good for what ails you. Oh, and it's not the best choice. It's Spacer's choice. Taste the freedom. A lot of slogans to keep track of. Sometimes I forget. Heard of it? My orientation aetherwave showed that famous Saltuna cannery, which I'm sure smells as good as it looks.
That's true.
Yeah. I hope they're gonna be okay.
That's a Spacer's choice beer. Take what you have, polish it up, and make the best of it. So, what can I get you? Some soap? Everyone loves soap. Everyone will love you for using it, too. Have a look.
I prefer to sell pristine weapons, just because I'm gonna have to.
Are you listening to me, Emfuru?
CNG pancake mix now requires no mixing. Seriously, don't mix it.
You look like someone who's taken their share of cuts and bruises. Need some armor? Maybe it's a bit secondhand, but that's only testament to its durability. We also have a line of specialized melee weapons, for those times you have to repel boarders but don't want to risk a bullet through the hull.
Damn, that thing fucking yeets people.
Thought there'd be more machinery. Must be housed on a sub-level.
I could spend all day in here and not have looked at half the best stuff. It's all pretty worn, though. Something you need?
Junlei Tennyson. I'm captain around here, but chief to my friends. Hope you don't mind the formal introduction. Groundbreaker doesn't see many visitors. No, it isn't. It's a mess. But it's my mess, so I'll take the compliment. Just...
Huh.
Good. Don't go making trouble, and chances are you won't find any. That's how I like it here. So what brings you to Groundbreaker? I'm curious, even though 9 times out of 10 the answer's just passing through. Interesting. The powers that be paint an ugly picture of Monarch. Critters and such. Maybe someone in the promenade can get you the right weapon for the job. We see a lot of the same faces coming and going. Most of them board spies and corporate sprats. Makes it hard to trust outsiders. You seem different, so welcome aboard. Groundbreaker's radiators need replacement parts. They're dumping superheated air into my ship. Only the board has access to new parts, and I won't let them swindle me into a corner. None. Every time I give in to the board, Groundbreaker loses its freedom. Soon there won't be anything left. I can't allow that. The board isn't helping, and my resources are spread thin. If I don't get those radiators back online, Groundbreaker, everyone on board, will be cooked alive. Reasonable, huh? That's the best news I've heard all day. According to my grandmother's old schematics, the parts we need should be in the back bays. The back bays are on a lower deck, long abandoned and a haven for miscreants now. I have. One of my engineers, plus a small security detail. They didn't come back. I can't afford to lose any Mardits on this job. No offense, but a freelancer like you is more dispensable. Nice and pragmatic. Thanks for understanding. Those idiots are immune to reason, and they don't much care if the station melts to pieces. They're content to die last. If you could find some way to solve this without violence, I'd prefer that. But more than anything, we need those parts.
Are we gonna get in trouble today? Not that I want to, just seems to happen around you, is all.
Speak your mind. Honestly, I could use the distraction.
What? I didn't think you just...
Parvati, is it? That's a lovely name. What can I do for you?
I was just thinking, I haven't got much experience working with actual, real spaceships, Miss Junlei. Chief Junlei.
Junlei is fine.
Force of habit, I guess. Okay. Since you run a whole space station, I was wondering if... well, maybe you could teach me some things. I could message you later, maybe?
I'd be happy to make the time, Parvati. You can ask me anything.
Right. In person. Sure thing, Captain. Wow, great. I'll do that then. Messages. Later. Oh, your name's pretty too. I should have said... Sorry. I like it. Honest. Sorry. Couldn't have done it without your moral support, Captain.
Now, if there's nothing else, there are other parts of the ship begging for my attention. Frustrating. Everything down to the circuit boards is past warranty, so I have the pleasure of making life or death decisions on a shoestring budget. Plus, there's no time to train my successor or document fixes in a way that anyone outside the family would understand.
Oh, gosh. I don't know. I'm really just a dab hand with a wrench. Nothing special. Not like a chief engineer.
Don't sell yourself short. It doesn't take a seasoned pro to tinker on Groundbreaker. Just someone who knows how a ship ought to feel. We're always thirsting for help. If you could find your way around this labyrinth of ducts and panels, we could work something out. Sure is. The Tennysons came over on the Groundbreaker. My grandmother, Chief Gaying, kept it together during the crossing and until she died. I was promoted only recently, when my mom died. Then I took the leap from chief engineer to captain.
They must have been amazing people to have taught you all you know, I mean, which is a lot.
That means a lot coming from a fellow engineer. Appreciate it. There wasn't much that took me by surprise about the job, but the little things you never expect or think about, they add up over time. Maybe you can see why I'm protective of Groundbreaker. This ship is family. It's got tinkerings and bypasses that only Tennysons know about. You see any bite-sized Tennyson children running around? I didn't think so. The next captain won't have my heritage. I'll have to foster that talent from somewhere. It's only a question of when. You've got my attention. You're right, I don't. The board is after two things, bits and power, and they only get it by sticking their nose where it doesn't belong. I placate them when I have something to offer, but I can also be a real hard-ass. It'd be a joy if I could kick out the corporate merchants and reclaim the docking fees in my lifetime. Too much of Groundbreaker's income is flowing in the wrong direction. I'd like to see that change. You've got my attention.
Where are we headed?
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. Do you have what it takes to defend your corporate town? From the dangers of alien wildlife and the unemployed.
CNP Borston Baked Beans. When you need to eat and run,
I know she's in there,
the only one.
You can't get me out of there.
Please don't make a scene, Dr. Fenhill.
I am not making a scene. I'm sorry. Am I causing a scene? See, Umfuru? We could have avoided all this unpleasantness if you just let me talk to Jessie in the first place. Let me get one thing straight. Jessie and I are not friends. I just owe her, okay? As for the rest, I'm trying to figure that out. All I know is that she's been here too long, and she's apparently not receiving visitors. You say that like it's weird. It is most certainly not. And watch where you go saying that, okay? You're gonna give people the wrong idea. I just don't like to leave a debt unpaid, that's all. Be my guest. If you know something I don't about dealing with hospital bureaucracy, I'll be impressed.
What seems to be the problem? Not without dispensation from Chief Junlei, I fear. Supplies are hard to come by out here. We don't have the ability to manufacture our own medical supplies here on Groundbreaker. Regrettably, we are dependent on the board for such mundane items as bandages and antibiotics, as well as more critical resources like adequately trained staff. We'd nearly signed a supply agreement with Anti-Cleos, but they demanded we only use their branded drugs, and that's simply not tenable. If only my other patients had so many inquiring after them. I'll tell you what I've told the others. The records say Miss Doyle checked herself in and requested I admit no visitors. The requests of our patients are paramount, so no, you may not see her. She's not my patient. I'm certain no one on my staff would falsify patient records, if that's what you're implying. Take care.
Med base for crew only. Sorry.
Can't say I've seen you before. I take it you're a freighter captain? If you're here to better yourself, you'll have to wait. We're having a spot of trouble with our delivery service. I'm expecting our delivery fellow to stop through with medical supplies and service auto mechanicals. Name's Captain Irion. A brave idiot with a penchant for getting himself delayed. Sometimes by dates, usually by bandits. I'd be grateful if you'd spare the time. We need his delivery soon as yesterday. Last he told me, he was taking a shortcut by Scylla, an asteroid in the Charybdis cluster. That's where I'd start.
Okay, so
I, the adventuring type.
I'm getting a whole bunch of quests to try and kind of figure out and sort through.
Probably crawling with outlaws.
This is going to be interesting to see further on down the river. So there's a good amount of sneaking and deception, it seems, in this. For the time being, I want to get my ship kind of fixed. So
When might we expect you out here again? Canned surfish is already sold out again. You've been flying the outer system.
If it's between the unreliable and the rest and go, I believe I'll sleep on the ship.
Advertisement for the following story. Tossball finals are scheduled to air soon, but a scandal has rocked the league and thrown
Bless my heart. A stranger come knocking on a poor old woman's door. You here for a particular reason? Or did the neighbors tell you how good my sugar cookies are? Made without a single natural ingredient, or an oven. Just like store-bought. Those have been the height of illegality since Stellar Bay turned their noses up at the board. You and I could be thrown to the void just for discussing such a transaction. Lucky for us, Groundbreaker's a free port. We're outside of the board's control. For the time being, at least. Now, I only have the one nav key. And they're hard to come by these days. It won't be cheap. If you find yourself lacking in the bits, I might have an opportunity you'd be interested in. You've certainly been blessed with an abundance of sass, haven't you? But it's your interstellar currency I'm interested in, not your nethers. Well, I find I'm in need of a ship captain with a little moral flexibility. Might be this could help out the Groundbreaker, as well as earn some bits. But if you've got qualms... Do you know Edna, over in engineering? Sweet as a pea, that one. On occasion, she'll pass along transmissions I might find interesting. She sent me a recording of a distress signal she'd scraped from the Groundbreaker's comm array. Curious thing is, it came from an outpost called Roseway. And Auntie Cleo abandoned that place years ago. Can't say I know for sure. Maybe it never really was.
Sounds like someone poking into somewhere they shouldn't be got into a spot of trouble.
Comm centers don't operate themselves, Captain. Someone had to have sent that distress call manually.
Those corps are cleverer than all get out. Might have been a ruse to keep the rest of the board from sniffing around. Edna didn't seem to think so, and I trust the dear girl's judgment. Well, maybe not in men, but she knows her comms. So, like as not, someone's been down there recently. And if someone set up shop in Roseway, I'd wager they got something to hide. I appreciate a man who knows one when he hears it. If you should find a secret worth selling, might be I could find a buyer. Corporate bigwigs will pay top bit for inside information on their competitors. The more we got the corps fighting each other, the less time they got to meddle in our affairs. My goodness, aren't you quick on the uptake? I like that. Should you find yourself responding to a certain distress call, and in so doing find yourself in possession of certain valuable corporate secrets, well, then we ought to have a chat over a pot of tea and my famous cookies. Law bless your atoms. Here's a copy of the SOS recording, complete with the coordinates.
Okay.
Don't forget to come find old Gladys when you're done.
Okay.
Won a charming copper kettle off that girl who runs the pub. She's a fierce arm wrestler, but she's no match for your pal Gladys.
Whoa! Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa! Whoa! Look at that! Damn! I'm gonna buy that. I think... It's expensive, but it's beautiful. It's so beautiful. It's gonna be a favorite. That's a gorgeous weapon, man. I'm excited. Okay. So I need to go talk to Bedford, because apparently I owe something. Hopefully I don't...
Go back to Byzantium, you gold-plated bastards.
Yeah, no one wants you on Groundbreaker.
These stairs I can't believe the board allows an unaffiliated station like this to stay open.
Oh, really? You're really...
Ah, the board. Organized, efficient, competent. Well, mostly.
For the following
I
story.
think everything in here is worth more than I made in my whole life.
Leo, because
Ah, yes. Wheeler messaged me you were coming. You must be the captain of the Unreliable, a vessel that used to be helmed by one Alex Hawthorne. And you are not he. Has something happened to my favorite scruffy freelancer? Oh no, this is terrible. My dear friend, what devilry is this? In whose miserable fever dream am I trapped? Oh, Alex. There were so many arguments we'd yet to have. He was my dearest friend. My only friend. You have his ship, you must know. That picture of us on the promenade, me hugging him, him wincing. I keep a copy beside my bed. Did he? Ah, that's just like him. Such a sentimental man. Tell me, how did he die? No! How dreadful. That was always Alex's greatest fear, you know. Devoured by those fiends. Becoming one with them.
I'm not one that's big on
droppings. Right. You're going important places, I'm sure. Big, exciting, important places. There, I've removed the flag from your ship. I'm terribly sorry for the inconvenience. However, before you go, Alex promised to tell me the location of Phineas Wells. I'm sure you've seen his wanted posters all over the colony. Did Alex tell you where Wells might be? Anything at all? That's... well, that's just terrible news. Law, what am I going to do now? The board will have my head. Oh, I'm sorry. This is terribly unprofessional of me. Is there anything else I might help you with? It's personal business, I'm afraid. A miserably terribly personal. Information on the whereabouts of Phineas Wells would go a long way. It's... well, it's my white whale, I suppose. It's fine. Really, it's perfectly fine. I understand. Now, if you've nothing else, please see yourself out. I'd like to drown myself in work. Be my guest.
Law, but it's miserable. My underarms are damp. How can I be expected to work in these conditions? Chief Tennyson is supposedly looking into the cause, but I've seen no action from her. Deplorable conduct. My superiors will be hearing about it. You can be certain of that.
She's doing everything she can. It's your people's fault it's not fixed, not Junlei's.
My, aren't you... excitable. Oh, sweetie. I don't owe a grease-stained wrench jockey like her the time of day, let alone my deference. I'm sorry, my temper got away from me. Please accept my sincerest apologies to you and your friend.
Oh, I'm not used to folks saying sorry. It's not all right exactly, but I appreciate the apology, I guess.
Well, now that that's dealt with, was there anything else you wanted to discuss?
I'm the certified representative of the board's interests here on the Groundbreaker. I'm their eyes, ears, and busy little hands. I have few complaints.
Oh, you've noticed my friends. Wonderful. Aren't their guns very large? Tremendously impressive. They're here to keep the peace, of course. Precisely. Groundbreaker makes much ado about its independent status and so resents any board presence, no matter how benign. When the alternative is board guards at their gates, yes, I do. They don't see it that way, of course, but I can't say I much care. Ask away.
Don't trust that guy in the slightest. I don't really like this vicar either, but... Okay, well... Now that my ship's a little... better... I'm gonna go after the parts first because I think that'll make things better. After that, I'm gonna go after the medical supplies. I'm gonna try and align myself with the Groundbreakers here because I feel like they're gonna be the ones that I'm gonna deal with the most. As a result, here we go to Black Base. We're going down into the depths of hell on this one. Alright, you know what? This might actually be all the time that I have for this one. I know, I haven't really made much progress. I haven't done that much exciting things, so...
Expecting any company? A neighbor from above approaches our realm. Back away now, or you'll parley with the king. Look at this ripe piece of meat just sizzling on the grill. Yum, yum. Time to feed the flames. It's nothing personal. Promise.
Is this what carbon monoxide poisoning looks like? I don't think this deck is too well ventilated.
Speaking for myself, Captain, I am not of a mind to be murdered by a psychopath who plays with fire.
You came with the crew. Welcome. We got plenty of space to spread out, but only room for one captain. I know this ain't a toy, neighbor from above. It's a catalyst, just like me. Keep talking. I like the sound of your voice.
That's right, sir. Just the parts. We'll be in and out in a jiff. You won't even know we were here.
Tennyson just keeps feeding the furnace, don't she? We're still playing with her last sacrifice out back, with the crew. You don't just ask a king for a favor when you're standing in his court. You bring tribute, sacrifices, prophecy, shit like that. Tribute it is. And ain't this just a royal sum?
Don't we need those bits, Captain? To buy the key from the lady?
The principles of the universe dictate that sometimes we must appease others to keep from being roasted alive.
You've got the run of the kingdom. Up those stairs, you'll find the parts. My crew won't get in your way.
Smells kind of like old Bess's outfit pipes.
Good stuff. I've been tripping for days.
Careful with that shit. You'll end up as crazy as he is.
Takes crazy to live.
Can you imagine being frozen for 10 years, sailing through space in a room such as this? Shh.
I gotta make my bits back, damn it. Paid a lot of bits for this shit. I could just kill them all.
Shrooms.
Aw, they're...
My backside still smarts. Does everyone get branded when they join McRed's crew?
Nope. Your ass is a priceless canvas now that it's home to an original McRed.
I guess I'm honored.
You get that automech patch? McRed wants it up and running.
I'm trying to think of a good name.
You're the first person I've seen who talked their way past McRed. That may not sound like much, but take my word for it. Wow. Junlei sent me down to collect the parts we need to fix the radiators. McRed got me all distracted sucking fumes and talking about the cosmos.
Youth these days have no principles.
I can't tell if you brought friends or if I'm still seeing things, so maybe I ought to lay off the fumes and head back to work. I'll get back to my post. See you topside, stranger.
How the fuck do I get up there? I could just kill them all. I'm very tempted to. Seems like dialogue's pretty useful. So, I don't think I'm ever really going to use this because I'm not a melee kind of guy. So, I think what I'm going to do is, since this is going to use my light ammo now, gonna give her a better gun, I think. When I have folks watching my back, I want to make sure they're well outfitted. Could have just killed them all. But still, I wanted to resolve it without violence, because I am a pacifist, damn it! I could kill them all if I really wanted to. I still might end up doing that, but with this situation resolved, that should help things a little bit with my standing with them. So, before I go into any issues...
This is Halcyon News.
You've returned, and in one piece. Color me impressed. Good work. I'll take those. I need you to head through the large door at the far end of engineering. Take the elevator down into the machinery shaft. There's a terminal in the back. Activate it when I call over the ship's PA. And bring weapons. There's a slight Mantipillar infestation. More than a few. Less than a hive. Nothing you can't handle.
More than a few, less than a
hive. We were salvaging parts from a ship. Turned out there were eggs inside. They got into the radiators, and here we are.
Okay.
Don't worry, Miss Junlei. We'll be super gentle with the ship. You don't got a thing to worry about. I mean, aside from fires and such.
I'm genuinely heartened to hear that. Thank you.
Question about your plan, Mr. Vicker.
Of course. The cosmos is generated and directed by the universal equation, also known as the Grand Plan. By contemplating the teleological order of things, one can achieve verity. Oh, right. You had a question?
Never mind. That about answers it.
The controls are in the back of the machinery shaft area. Keep clear of the radiators. You don't need to kill the Mantipillars, but I'd be mighty grateful if you did. I got this thing in my hand.
You guys can pause that and read through those if you really want to.
Good news? Song tells me the security mechanicals booted up and killed a bunch of mantis. Bad news. Diagnostic says their circuit boards are fused from the heat, so they're not too picky about who they kill next. Sneak fast if you can. Sneak fast. I can always
Performing an area.
Nice hit! Just that.
Okay, so I died, but the shrink ray's cute.
Watch out, Captain!
He's so aggressive.
That's the last of them.
Okay, let me change this. I don't like him being aggressive. I'd rather him be a medium-distance fighter, to be honest with you. Okay, please move.
Song tells me the security mechanicals booted up and killed a bunch of mantis. Bad news. Diagnostic says their circuit boards are fused from the heat, so they're not too picky about who they kill next. Shoot fast if you can. Shoot back if you need to. I can always fix them later.
What's my stealth at right now? Can I... Okay, so I can't attack automaton. I can attack automatons. If I can get around them. Okay, so that did not work as planned. Great. Cool. Fantastic. Alright, so Shrink Ray sucks balls. Not that useful. Don't really care about it. Am not a fan. Okay, cool. Well, then I guess I'll just...
That Chief Junlei sure seems well, huh? Well, I didn't expect her to be so tall. And did you see the size of her arms? What? No. Maybe? I don't...
Oh.
It's like somebody reached into my head and pulled out what I didn't know I wanted. You know how hard it is to find anybody who likes working with tools in a little town like Edgewater? I reckon there's worse places to start. Did you see how everybody on Groundbreaker listens to Junlei? She's just, here's how to fix it. And they trust her. It's just... she's calm and knows what to do. I wish I was half so confident.
Oh, how sweet. Ow, why am I on fire? Fucking touched the radiators, didn't I? Okay, so yeah, I definitely don't like that. I don't have anything using heavy ammo right now. I suppose I can just use this. Yeah, that'll work. I mean, this uses heavy ammo, so maybe I should just have this on the side. It's so weak. Oh my gosh. It's extraordinarily weak. Okay, let me... I need to pull that off. It's so bad. I'm honestly, I'm just, it's probably just worth storing. That's probably about it. Vicar, I don't care if the Vicar dies. I genuinely just don't. I'm cool with him just go all balls to the wall. I don't like this guy that much, but he does have useful dialogue skills that... yeah. He's got his uses. But again, he's not my kind of guy. You know? We'll have to see how that pans out. But, you know what, for the time being, I think I'm cool with what I've got in my arsenal. I don't really need that. But yeah, we'll manage from here.
Good news? Song tells me the security mechanicals booted up and killed a bunch of mantis. Bad news. Diagnostic says their circuit boards are fused from the heat, so they're not too picky about who they kill next. Shoot back if you need to. You can always do it later.
That's the last of them.
Somebody's texting me. Oh.
Target.
Fine hit, Captain!
That's the terminal. I have the parts in position on my side. Go ahead and cycle the droplet pumps. And if you don't know what that means, just look for a command that says cycle droplet pumps. Done. The temperatures are dropping. Stop by once you found your way out of there. Groundbreaker owes you things.
Ah, my legs, they're broken. So I can command them to attack. There's a lot more to it with the companion interplay, but like I don't use them like that. I use them like followers in any other game.
This is Halcyon News.
My boards are returning to green. What a weight that is off my shoulders. I don't normally tolerate outsiders mucking about in my station's guts, but you're all right. The temperature should be dropping as we speak. I'll see to it the crew knows who kept us all from boiling alive. If you've got time, I believe Edna has a comms issue that could use your attention. I've also authorized Doc and Furu to sell you our premium meds.
It is very hot in here. Alright, y'all. As much as I want to stay and play this for much longer, I honestly, I don't have the time. I mean, I do, and I very much want to save, and I want to do this. I want to stay on this recording for days, and I want to keep playing. I would love to keep playing, but I cannot. I apparently have to keep breaking it up, and you know what? I'm taking it in small doses, and I'm savoring it, and there's a lot to do, and I want to get it all done. So I apologize. I know. You don't necessarily like that I have to keep pausing this all of a sudden, but you know what? It has been a wild ride. We have done quite a bit. And you know what? I'm actually going to rank those two up because I see they both have skills. I'm going to do that real quick and then we'll just peace on out of here. So, just so you guys can see how I am doing this, because like... Oh, wait, they don't have that? Why do they have the... I'm confused. Why do they have little... Oh, that's just following my command.
I'm going.
I'll be right there.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay, so I see what it is. Okay. My bad. I was trying to figure out what those little up arrows were. My bad. But it has definitely been fun. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I know there are periods where I have gone quiet, but to be honest, I'm kind of getting engrossed in the game and I'm trying to kind of follow through. I know previously I read through a whole bunch of the questions, but I read through a whole bunch of the stuff and I thought that was cool and I enjoyed it, but I don't know. I think I'm enjoying the game less that I'm not doing that, so I'm probably going to just start reading everything again, reading all the terminals thoroughly, and just kind of getting engrossed into the story as best I can. That way I can make the smartest decisions moving forward with how I personally would like to play. That's how I'm going to continue playing it. I'm not a huge fan of what I did with the Outlaws there. I kind of wanted to kill them all, but, like, again, there's certain principles that I'm trying to follow and abide by, and I'm also out of wine. But there's a whole bunch to this game that I want to learn more and get more into. I understand it is what it is, but this has been an awesome so far for me. Just playing it, I very much enjoy it. Maybe you guys enjoy watching it. Maybe you do. Maybe you don't. Doesn't really matter. But as it is what it is, and I'm very excited to continue this moving forward. So just to prove that I am just kind of killing it here, I am quitting right now. And I am not a sporadic saver. I will maintain this single save. There are no turnbacks. I promise you. If I make a mistake, I will stick with it. But yeah, because the reason I do that is because I believe in cause and effect, and I believe that once you're responsible for whatever actions that happen, and that's just a principle thing that I think we need to go through. And plus, on the majority of the time with other games, I have always kind of been able to, I want to see what options there are, and like I go back and I do stupid shit. But like that's not who I want to be. That's not who I want to do. That's not how I want to handle shit moving forward. As a result, I am playing how I play, and if shit goes sideways, I'ma live with it. Anyway, y'all enjoy your weekends. I've seriously hope. I've loved playing this. I might do another recording tomorrow, but to be honest, I am kind of drawing these out a bit more. My watch was dead, so I couldn't exactly time it. Because this is one of those games that you kind of get engrossed in, and then it sucks all your time away because you're playing it. And I haven't played a game like this since I played The Witcher 3, and I honestly love it. Like, I never even beat Fallout 4 because I was too engrossed in the decision-making, and I didn't want to, like, make a mistake. I didn't want anything to change. Which is really weird, because, like, it's a game, and I shouldn't be that apprehensive to making decisions, but it seems like that might be kind of ingrained in me. Hopefully going through this might show me something I need to get better about. Anywho, y'all enjoy your lives, make your decisions, take your time, be with your family, be with your friends, enjoy yourself, and just be happy, right? That's what we all gotta worry about. Despite all this bullshit that's going on in the world with cops killing people and harassing people and people harassing cops and instigating fights and all this other shit, there's a lot going on that we don't really know how to solve. We don't really know how to go about in the best way. And I know I just put myself at dangerous grounds because the reality is it's a complicated situation no matter how you look at it. And there's problems on both the sides of how people should be treated by the police and how the police need to handle and conduct themselves in a response to people. But again, the police are not the government. They're not the man. They're not they're people too. You have to realize that. People make mistakes. That's true. But there's also becomes the education system of the cops themselves and how they're trained to respond to situations because of the fact that we as people have the right to carry firearms and we could murder cops. Like, I'm not saying do that, but I'm saying that there's always going to be that threat that cops are present with. So I'm not defending them. I'm not defending the actions of what was happened at all. It was fucking wrong. Like, hands down, just fucking wrong. But I'm saying put yourself in that position. If you're approaching a situation, and if you have to respond, say there's a call, say someone's 911 call. If you're the responder, if you have to be there and you have to handle shit, you have to be kind of in a mentality, especially because if you don't know the situation, details are going to be hazy. For all you know, someone's got a firearm, and you don't know. And that's that period of uncertainty that kind of puts a lot of cops on edge. And I think that should be kept in mind whenever you're talking to a police officer, because they are always looking for the worst in people. And I don't think that's a perspective or a training method that should necessarily apply to other aspects of their life, but I'm sure it does in a lot of instances. And I think people are seeing the worst in cops because all that we're doing is watching the movie. Like, we're watching movies that are talking about corrupt politicians, corrupt cops, crooked governments. And that's what we're seeing on the media and in all different aspects, because we realize the fact that power corrupts people. So what do we do when we keep putting these people in power and then throwing them away? It's not the best notion. And I'm not saying anarchy is the greatest notion either. I'm not sure if there's a serious solution to that kind of issue. A fundamental problem with what's going on with people trying to run societies. And I think that as a species we need to come to a conclusion together, but we can't do that unless everyone is educated and has some sort of common ground. I don't know. That's just my 2 cents on that. I know I've been trying to quit this for like an hour, but I'm just going off talking my whole head off. And I know, it is what it is. But I hope you enjoyed the Let's Play. I will see you all in the next video. And until then, please take care of yourselves, take care of your families, be safe, and for God's fucking sake, wear a mask. Even if you're out to attend protests, like, I disagree with the tear gas, and like that's fucking ridiculous. I disagree with the majority of what our president is doing. But when it comes to, like, I know people who have become cops that I grew up with, so I'm going to be able to see the human aspect to cops and police, as well as the police's protocols being completely the fuck wrong. Being all sorts of fucked up and overly brutal and overly violent. And I also realize that there's the aspect of that where people are escalating the situation. But it is what it is. I didn't come here to talk about that. I didn't come here to try and like be all-knowing, but I'm trying to open your mind to the fact that there are other perspectives to keep in mind while you're doing this. Anyway, until next time, peace out.